For centuries, Canada's Pacific coast was the goal of exploration. In slow procession through the years came such adventurers as Captain James Cook, Captain George Vancouver, and a host of others whose footprints have faded from the sands of time. As a living tribute to those hardy pioneers, the city of Victoria on Vancouver Island stands today monumental to their achievements. An opal set in emeralds, a jewel city among the capitals of the world. As in the days of old, the sea is the highway to Victoria. Her gateway is her picturesque harbor. Today, one steps ashore from palatial coastal liners to be greeted by an atmosphere which is distinctly restful, as exemplified by the ivy-covered Empress Hotel, a modern hostelry of world renown facing the placid waters of the inner harbor. The hotel grounds with their wide green flower-bordered lawns and trellised walks are one of the sights of Victoria. Here, visitors gather from the four corners of the earth, vacation-bound in the Garden City of the West. Bowling on the green, a game made famous by the illustrious Sir Francis Drake, still retains its popularity on the velvet greens of Victoria. And after a day of play, there is always the attractive enclosure of the Crystal Gardens, with the inviting possibilities of a quiet cup of tea, or a stroll on the glass-covered promenade, or even a dip in the clear salt waters of the swimming pool. The provincial legislative buildings are among the most imposing structures of their kind on the continent. The grounds surrounding these stately buildings are a fitting setting for a memorial commemorating those who died upon the fields of war, the deathless legions who sacrificed their lives for peace and justice and humanity. A splendid prospect by day, these stately buildings are even more impressive at night. At the turn of a switch, the magic of electricity throws the outline in sharp relief against the darkened sky. Beacon Hill Park nearby is a sanctuary of charm. Under the drooping willows, the swans sail majestically over their reflections in the green waters of Goodacre Lake. Shady paths wind through cool woods, while a tally-ho stepping out of the pages of a medieval past lends enchantment to the scene. Here, gardens thrive in a climate that is almost tropic, in the embrace of perpetual summer, which holds undisputed sway for 12 long months of the year. It is no wonder that things grow and bloom beneath smiling western skies, for the warm ocean currents of Japan bring life and luxury to a happy island that bathes in the Pacific salty spray. Even the animals confined in the generous dimensions of Beacon Hill Park Zoo reflect a spirit of contentment. But Victoria is not merely a mammoth garden, for here the ingenuity of man has created a busy city with great wide boulevards for streets. Its enterprising business section speaks of a rich commerce and a lucrative industrial life. The characteristic beauty of its residential districts has made Victoria distinctly a home city. As a place in which to live, it is different from other cities, less in a hurry, more tranquil, more beautiful. It is no wonder that Cook, Vancouver, and a host of adventurers of other years recognized in Victoria a journey's end, a goal to compensate for the hardships of those bygone days. Today, Victoria is a city of sunshine, of flowers and gardens, of trim boulevards and lovely streets. Everywhere are the greenest of green lawns and hedges rivaling those of old England. Zero weather is unknown, so also is excessive heat. The temperature varies little from summer to winter, and there is always sunshine. After office hours, the tired businessman goes home and grows young amidst his flowers. And here is still another reminder of old England. In the Pendry Gardens, it is not the flowers but the shrubs and hedges that attract attention. For the shrubs that dot the lawns have been clipped into realistic likenesses of various birds and animals to form a most unique display. These examples of topiary work, for that is what they call this craft, are said to be the finest on the continent. Winding through the outlying districts of the city, passing quiet boulevards and cheerful homes, the Marine Drive is one of the most popular scenic highways on Vancouver Island. Near Beacon Hill Park, the road skirts the lofty cliffs, affording vistas of spectacular beauty as it follows a graceful course high above the surf-washed beaches where all Victoria comes to swim. There are many beaches near the city which are readily accessible to those who seek health and recreation on the golden sands. Victoria is also a golfer's paradise, and the royal and ancient game is played all the year around. Situated on the heights of Scenic, on the outskirts of Victoria, is the Dominion Observatory, which houses a telescope ranking among the most powerful in the world. The selection of Victoria as a location for an observatory is a tribute to the clear, dust-free atmosphere of this western city, which at night affords an unobstructed sweep along the pathway of the stars. Within the observatory, the huge reflector mirror and its associated equipment weighs nearly 50 tons, but it is balanced to such a fine degree that no effort is required to swing its great bulk across the wide arc of the skies. And when you and I are sleeping in our cozy beds without a thought of the major problems of space, the lenses on the hill at Scenic are trained heavenward where planets gleam like distant jewels against the purple background of the night. Not in all America are to be found more beautiful and more diversified gardens than those of the Butchart estate at Brentwood. Laid out with methodical care, reflecting the handiwork of nature in her gayest moods, the Butchart Gardens reach a height of botanical perfection which is the pride and joy of Victoria. Visitors come from far and near, skeptical of its fame, which has spread to distant places, but they leave rewarded for a pilgrimage that has not been in vain. It is hard to realize that this spot, now as lovely as an Arabian Nights dream, was once the unsightly yawning chasm of a discarded limestone quarry. For years it remained forlorn and deserted until man's ingenuity came to a timely rescue. Then, aided by the regenerative forces of nature, a transformation was achieved, a treasure house created for the colorful products of Mother Earth. Victoria is the first and last port of call for vessels entering or leaving the Pacific Northwest, Canada's gateway to California and the world that lies beyond the sunset. In her 3 excellent harbors will be found ships from all the 7 seas. At their docks, whalers and fishing boats from the north hold rendezvous with great liners from under the Southern Cross, and nearby are ships destined for far-off places, loading the produce of Vancouver Island's forests of spruce and fir and pine. And when autumn leaves are tinged with purple, grain too leaves Victoria for the peoples of the East, a flowing golden stream from Canada's fertile island on the sun-bathed Pacific coast. The visitor leaves Victoria as he came, by the sea, and behind him, the city of sunshine and flowers, the garden city of the Pacific.